Michael Keaton returning as Batman is fantastic news if it actually happens. I love this idea in isolation, and I say that in isolation because there are a lot of issues I have with this entire announcement, but we're going to focus right now on Michael Keaton returning as Batman. I love Michael Keaton as Batman. Batman 89 still has a place in my heart, and it will always have a place in my heart. I love what Tim Burton did with Gotham. I love what he did with Batman. I was around for Batman 89, and if you're not old enough to understand the cultural significance of Batman 89, it was everywhere. People had the bat symbol shaved in the back of their heads. That black Batman shirt with the yellow logo was everywhere. You couldn't go anywhere. It was the biggest thing ever. A lot of people probably remember the Attitude Era with wrestling and the Austin 316 shirts and the NWO and how those were everywhere. Batman shirts did it twice as much. I mean, it was everywhere. It was crazy. It was an amazing time to be a fan of things like this. So Batman 89, all of these years later, it still holds up extremely well for me. As a person who obviously loves the Nolan movies, and that's my definitive Batman, I still have a very, very high appreciation for Michael Keaton's Batman and what Tim Burton did. Now, here's the announcement, at least the reported news, that Michael Keaton in talks to return as Batman for Flash movie. Now, the reason I said this in isolation because I got a lot of problems with the fact that we're still we live in the cancel culture of Hollywood, and again, while everything that I complain about, it's all because I feel there's a double standard in place, and I've been doing this for years now where I don't like the double standard. You know, we're in a world where people get canceled if they don't have the right, whatever gender or the right ideology that Hollywood can't protect. But then we have someone like Ezra Miller who's on camera potentially assaulting a fan, and I haven't heard anything about that. There was no issue whatsoever. It blew up for like 24 hours, and then that story went away. I have heard nothing about it. I've heard no context. I've heard no follow-ups, no updates, nothing, because no one seemed to care because of Ezra Miller and his politics. That's what pisses me off about this, is that Ezra Miller, I've heard nothing. But we're not going to focus on Ezra Miller too much. We're still just going to focus on Michael Keaton, but I wanted to make that point clear that I'm very frustrated about that. Keaton last played the character in 1992's Batman Returns and skewered the idea of a faded superhero actor in 2014's Oscar-winning Birdman. There may be a new Batman in town, and he's the same as the old Batman. Michael Keaton, who famously starred as the Caped Crusader in Tim Burton's directed early 1990s Batman movies, is in talks to reprise the character for Warner Brothers' DC movie The Flash. Ezra Miller is on board to star as Barry Allen, aka The Flash. So let's see. But wait, there's more. If a deal makes, Keaton wouldn't just return for Flash, but possibly for several other DC-oriented film projects. Sources tell The Hollywood Reporter that the role being envisioned for a veteran actor is akin to the role played by Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Something of a mentor or guide, or even a string puller. Batgirl is one of the projects in development that could fall under that. When Warner Brothers had no comment, Keaton was a comedic actor, so they're just kind of giving blah, 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 blah. Pattinson's The Batman is currently being looked as separate from The Flash and other DC movies, but the Flash project is offering an intriguing escape hatch for such ideas. So there's a lot. Flash is eyeing a London start in spring of 2020. Now, this could be Flashpoint. There's a lot they can do with it, but God, man, the DC just seems to be a mess. It really does. You've got projects all over the place with DC. There is no continuity at all. You've got the CW shows that aren't connected to the cinematic universe. You've got the DCEU. You've got the Joker movie, which was phenomenal, by Joaquin Phoenix, but it's not connected to the DCEU. You've got Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves' Batman, not connected to the DCEU. Then you've got Zack Snyder bringing his Snyder Cut to HBO Max, which is not connected to Pattinson or to the Joker. What? It's all over the place. And again, I love the idea of Michael Keaton returning. I think a Batman Beyond is definitely a way they should go. This just seems really convoluted, though. There's so many moving parts. There's so many moving parts to all of this, and I just don't know. I just don't know. But in isolation, the idea of Michael Keaton returning as Batman all of these years later is beautiful. And it is wonderful, and this is what fans would be loving, the idea of this. We would love this. Again, there's so many issues with the DCEU, so it's really, really hard to really get excited. But again, Michael Keaton is awesome. We love Michael Keaton. We love Michael Keaton's Batman, and we respect him. So I guess the excitement of this kind of hits me. Not quite. This news with Brandon Routh when he returned to the CW shows, which I have no interest in watching, but when he returned to Superman, I mean, I did find some really big nostalgia on that, even though I did not like Superman Returns. I really thought that Brandon Routh was a fantastic Superman, but I didn't have the same level of fandom towards Brandon Routh's Superman as I do for Michael Keaton's Batman. Michael Keaton's Batman, has a place in history for me and many other fans, especially the fans that lived through that experience with Batman 89. So this is really cool. But yeah, there's a lot of problems with the DC Cinematic Universe or the DC Extended Universe or whatever the hell they're calling it. I don't even know. And with Ezra Miller, the fact that that guy still gets to, get involved, which, again, in isolation, like, I don't think any actors should be held accountable for any outside things but we live in Hollywood where people are getting canceled for a tweet. We live in Hollywood where people get canceled for a tweet. But Ezra Miller faces no criticism for what appears to be an assault on a female fan on camera. There's been no outrage for it. It just got swept under the rug, just like Jussie Smollett. Just went away. That's how Hollywood operates. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Go check out geeksandgamers.com, our website where you can make a profile. You can have your own blog on the profile. You can join the forums. We can have discussions. And if you are interested, please consider becoming a premium member for only $10 a month. We appreciate that. That gives you exclusive access, and we're going to continue to build up that premium access. We're going to give you more and more perks just for that $10, and we do appreciate it. So you guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video. Solo lost money. Raylos are weird. Fuck Naughty Dog, and we will talk to you later.